The World Health Organization has told Western countries to follow the example of Asian states by persevering with anti-COVID measures. Mike Ryan, the WHO's emergency expert, said that governments should quarantine anyone who comes into contact with infected people. He said that the Europe region had seen a 50% rise in cases over the past week. In the Italian region of Lombardy, the Italian government has agreed new restrictions to curb a surge in infections. The region, which was at the centre of Italy's first wave, will propose an overnight curfew from Thursday. It includes Italy's financial capital, Milan. Large shops will be asked to close. The Welsh Government has decided to impose a 16-day lockdown in every part of Wales to regain control of the pandemic. The First Minister said that without this action, the NHS would not be able to cope in the weeks and months ahead. But there has been dismay, even anger, in those parts of Wales where the number of cases is still relatively low.
In Belgium, all bars and restaurants have been ordered to close their doors. In Sweden, regional health authorities have been given increased powers to issue local guidelines to tackle local outbreaks. In Poland, the National Stadium in Warsaw is being transformed into a field hospital with room for 500 patients. And in Slovenia, the government has declared a 30-day state of emergency after cases more than doubled in the past week. Travel bans and curfews have been put in place.
President Trump attacks his own top coronavirus advisor, describing the highly respected expert, Anthony Fauci, as a disaster. Could China's COVID success drive it further apart from the United States? We have a special report. Belgium's health minister warns the country could soon be overwhelmed by new coronavirus infections as cases there soar.
In Ireland, the whole country will face the highest level of restrictions for the next 6 weeks. Measures to ban households mixing and to close non-essential businesses will come into effect at midnight on Wednesday, following a surge in cases over the last fortnight. The Prime Minister, Micheál Martin, said tightening the rules now meant that life might be more normal by Christmas.
Passengers flying to destinations including Hong Kong and Italy will have the option of paying for a rapid COVID test at Heathrow Airport. The new facilities in Terminals 2 and 5 will be available from today for anyone travelling to places where authorities require proof of a negative test on arrival. The service costs £80. Results should be available within 20 minutes.
The European Union has said it's willing to intensify talks on a post-Brexit trade deal with the UK this week in order to try to break the impasse between the two sides. The EU's negotiator, Michel Barnier, suggested discussions will be based on specific legal texts, which the UK has previously accused the EU of refusing to consider. Britain said it still required a fundamental change from the EU. President Trump says he's ready to remove Sudan from a US list of state sponsors of terrorism. That's after the new government there agreed to pay millions of dollars in compensation to American victims of attacks. The payment relates to al-Qaeda's bombing of American embassies in Kenya and Tanzania in 1998. The al-Qaeda leader, Osama bin Laden, had been welcomed by the then Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir. Large crowds of protesters again gathered in the Thai capital Bangkok on Monday, seeking the resignation of the Prime Minister and also political reform. This includes curbs on the monarchy, which is usually above criticism in Thailand. Government officials threatened to close down 4 media outlets for spreading what they described as distorted information.